This coming Sunday, we celebrate the 14th Sunday in Ordinary Time. During Year A, we are reading from Matthew's Gospel. The passage this week comes from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 11, verses 25 to 30. Let's take a listen. At that time, Jesus exclaimed, "I give praise to you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, for although you have hidden these things from the wise and the learned, you have revealed them to little ones. Yes, Father, such has been your gracious will. All things have been handed over to me by my Father. No one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son wishes to reveal him. Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden light." Jesus speaks to the people of his time, but he also speaks to us as we hear this gospel passage. He speaks about the right disposition we need in order to hear the truths he wants to speak to us. They will not be heard by the wise and the learned, but by the childlike, by the little ones. We need to have an openness, a receptivity, a willingness, an eagerness that we recognize in children, in the little ones. He then says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden light." He invited those of his time, and he invites us to come to him. He invites us to see in him what we need, what we have been searching for. In a particular way, he invites them and us to bring to him our heavy burdens. And what will he do for us? He will give us rest. Carrying these burdens can be exhausting. Sometimes the burden we carry is just our own. I carry the burden of my sins, my weaknesses, my vulnerabilities. I also can carry the burdens of family members and friends. What of a spouse who cares for their husband or wife who is ill? This kind of care, often a full-time, 24/7 commitment, can be so very tiring. What of a parent who cares for a child with special needs? Again, someone who needs the attention of the parent on a regular basis. What of the adult son or daughter who goes to visit a parent or grandparent in a nursing home, trying to juggle the time needed to care for their children and now their parents? It can all be very tiring, exhausting. He tells his disciples, and he tells us, "Learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart." He calls us to learn his way, a way of humility and a way of meekness. Jesus has great strength and has great power, but also has tremendous humility. He calls us to imitate him, to take on his yoke, which will not be a burden, rather it will be easy and light. As we learn his way, we are really making his priorities our priorities. We are making his values our values. We are making his way of caring our way of caring. We are learning how to be more like him, and that takes humility. Let the gospel fill your week. See you in church. For now, God bless.